What if I told you that one of Hollywood's most beloved couples was torn apart by a scandal so shocking? It left fans speechless and careers hanging by a thread. It was not just a simple mistake, it was a public implosion that no one saw coming. Imagine seeing the person you love splashed across headlines for betraying you with the whole world watching. This is the story of how Kristen Stewart and Rupert Sanders' secret was exposed, shattering relationships and leaving everyone asking why risk it all. Stick around because the truth behind this scandal is more complicated and heartbreaking than you think. Imagine being on top of the world, your career is skyrocketing, your relationship is adored by millions, and your life seems like a perfect fairy tale. Now imagine watching it all shatter in a single moment with the whole world watching. That's preciously what happened to Kristen Stewart in 2012 when one scandal turned her life completely upside down. But how did the seemingly perfect storm turn into one of Hollywood's most talked about controversies? Kristen Stewart was America's indie darling, transformed into a global superstar thanks to the Twilight saga. Her on-screen and off-screen relationship with Rupert Pattinson made them Hollywood's golden couple. Fans could not get enough of their chemistry and genuine love. Paparazzi followed their every move and the internet buzzed with their every appearance. But then something unimaginable happened. Rupert Sanders was a relatively unknown director compared to Kristen. His claim to fame, directing Snow White and the Huntsman, where Kristen starred as Snow White. At first glance, their collaboration seemed strictly professional. After all, Sanders was married to model Liberty Ross and they had two beautiful children, but the reality behind the scenes was far more just work related. It all started when photos surfaced to Kristen and Rupert sharing what appeared to be intimate moments. The pictures showed them in an embarrassed, seemingly unaware of the cameras capturing their secret. Social media exploded. Fans could not believe it. How could Kristen, who seemed so loyal to Robert, be involved in something like this? And with a married man, questions swirled. Was it a moment of weakness, a calculated affair, or something far more complex? The media frenzy was relentless. Headlines screamed betrayal and heartbreak while fans took sides. Some defended Kristen, calling it a lapse in judgment, while others condemned her for hurting Robert. Just when the gossip peaked, Kristen did something unexpected. She admitted to it. In a rare open statement, she confessed her mistake, publicly apologizing to Robert and expressing regret. It was one of those moments where raw honesty made it even more shocking. But what about Robert Sanders? While Kristen faced backlash, Rupert's life also took a hit. Liberty Rose, his wife, was devastated. The family-oriented image he maintained crumbled, and Hollywood was not kind. Kristen's career seemed momentarily on the line, while Rupert's directing future was cast into doubt. The scandal affected everyone involved, not just the two and the center. Despite Kristen's apology, the question remained, could her relationship with Rupert survive this? Fans wanted them to recognizable, but Rupert remained silent for a while. When he finally spoke, his words were guarded, filled with pain. Meanwhile, Liberty Rose eventually decided to file for divorce. The fallout was real and lasting. But why did Kristen and Rupert risk so much? Was it a fleeting moment of passion or a deeper connection that neither anticipated? Years later, when Kristen reflected on the scandal, she mentioned feeling overwhelmed at the point in her life. She did not justify it, she owned it, but the damage was done. As for Robert Pattinson, his heartbreak became almost legendary. Fans rallied behind him, some accusing Kristen of running the perfect life love story they had envisioned. The public's investment in their relationship was profound, and the scandal felt personal to fans. But as time passed, Robert moved on. Kristen grew from the experience, and Rupert faded from the Hollywood spotlight. Years later, opinions are still divided. Was Kristen the villain or just a young woman who made a mistake? Was Rupert more the blame as the older married party? One thing's for sure, this scandal remains a prime example of how one impulsive decision can have far-reaching consequences. Hollywood has seen countless scandals, but this one lingers because it was not just a tabloid story. It was a very human mistake played out on the world stage, and it left everyone wondering, what would you have done if your private mistake became public in such a brutal way?